So yesterday I was talking about sorry, my brain is so slow. I slept like 4 hours last night. So I was talking about Chainsaw Man and the fact that we are going to have season 2 coming out soon. I did more digging, and in actuality, we are to get a movie next year instead of episodes, which I'm absolutely thrilled about because it's like they did with Jujutsu Kaisen. They gave us a movie and then they continued with the seasons and episodes. So, and I'm not too surprised because at this point, having a movie after a season is something that I can easily associate with Studio Mappa. So, for who is not aware of this, Studio Mappa is a Japanese animation company that was created or founded in 2011. So, I'd say it's quite recent, relatively recent. And they've been so successful and in their anime that they've created and animated. Their animation style is very peculiar and is very recognizable. I personally love it. I think that Studio Mappa can be considered one of the best animation companies that is out there at the moment. They really care about the storyline and engagement and creating art, not just, putting out anime. This is what I felt like at the beginning. So things that they've put out that you might not know that they did is Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan. We are literally addicted to these two shows. Then we have an animation called Dororo. I'm gonna review Dororo because the way I cried with Dororo, the way I shed tears as a grown-ass woman. They also put out things that I wasn't aware that they put out at the time. It's called Dore Hidoro. It's a story about a girl and like a crocodile. That I have to do a review of that. I watched that like a few years ago. I didn't know it was Studio Mappa, but now I'm not surprised because the animation was amazing and the storyline was mwah. And then Chainsaw Man, of course. Now I don't know why I didn't think that Doro was not. I didn't make the connection because Chainsaw Man is like hello, same thing. And then they've also put out Vinland Saga, which I've watched, and these are the ones that I really, really loved. This is the one, the anime that I absolutely would refer to people. But most recently, you might have heard or read about a controversy, and if you don't know, let me tell you now. There is a controversy surrounding Studio Mappa and the fact that they are working their animators to death. And even during Jujutsu Kaisen production, people were really worried about the fact that the animators were complaining, although anonymously, that their work environment was very toxic and not sustainable, and that would kind of affect the quality of work that they were putting out. Which is really sad for me to hear because they are working in such bad conditions and they are creating amazing work. Just imagine if they were compensated appropriately, because by the way, they complained about the fact that they weren't being compensated appropriately. How can you not compensate these people appropriately? Like, can you understand how much work goes into animating a full-on like 25 episodes, 12 episodes? Animation is not easy. Like, you have to sit there for hours on end and you have to create things from scratch, and there are stages to this. It's not easy. I tried animating. It's hard work and mentally tired. So these people would be working all day, all night to create these animations and uphold expectations that Studio Mappa require. And they're overworked, they're just tired, and they've been complaining and kind of asking for help at this point. I feel like that's why we started hearing about this more and more. This is an article that I read yesterday about this. You can just stop this and read it yourself. So it says that basically there's anonymous people, animators from Studio Mappa, that are telling us that their working situations are very worrying, alarming. They are describing their working conditions as unbearable, like unbearable, often necessitating long hours and overnight shifts to meet project deadlines. Overnight shift? Like, why would you need to do overnight shifts? I don't get it. This is a 9 to 5. I mean, I understand working overnight or working extra once in a while because you're passionate about what you're doing. You want to put out work. There is a fan base that is expecting, this story, and it's something that is exciting. But this has clearly been happening so much and so often that it's becoming unbearable. How long can someone work overnight before they break down, shut down, or have a mental breakdown? They're complaining about stress and fatigue. And then some animators have even reported instances of collapsing, or they are feeling like they're literally dying. The animators are concerned about the effect on their physical and mental health. It's like we're going back to slavery times. It's like we don't know or we don't want to uphold basic human rights. Now, this is Japan, and we all know that Japanese work culture is toxic or a bit toxic. But I believe there should be a line. There should be a limit. If you want to know more, this thing has been going on for quite some time. You can go online and Google it and you'll read stories and articles about this situation. So Jujutsu Kaisen is coming to an end. We have few episodes left, and apparently now they are moving straight onto the next project. And these people can't do it. You can't just be doing 24 hours shifts and then move on to next work without a break. I mean, I understand, there's certain jobs and they require such amount of work, hard work, phases of hard work or phases of long hours. But you have to have a break in between. I'm not going to compare this animator work to like nurses or doctors, but I believe that, it's kind of similar because you have doctors that can work for up to 24 hours or for very, very long hours, but they must take some days off because they know that otherwise they would jeopardize their own safety and the safety of their patients. This case is different. Obviously, I'm not comparing animators with doctors because there's no other, the lives that are in danger are the lives of the animators. But after your brain or your body has been through so much stress, because if you don't sleep enough for enough time, or you don't get the sleep amount that you need, the amount of sleep that you need, your body is going to be affected. Your mental stability, your mental state is going to be affected. You must take a break after you've worked so long or for so many times. Otherwise, you're risking a mental breakdown. And they're moving straight on to the next project. I am honestly worried that we're going to lose, or we're going to see such a good, company fall into pieces. Well, I would argue that they're already falling into pieces because their reputation is being damaged by all these things that are coming out. But I am worried that people are going to leave, like the good animators that have been making Studio Mappa what it is, will leave Studio Mappa, and to be honest, they would find jobs elsewhere because with the skills that they have and with the names of anime under, in their CV, they can surely find something. And once these people leave and then they get fragmented, they're not more like that group that's creating all this amazing work. We're not gonna have, do you know what I mean? So if you haven't heard about this, I'd suggest you go and, read it up or get informed a little bit about, all these anime that we are watching and consuming. They come from people, they come from, some studios, animation studios. And in this moment in time, Studio Mappa is under scrutiny, or rather, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding it. Hit me up. What do you think about the situation? Leave a comment. Have you heard of it? And have you watched any of Studio Mappa work? And if you like this, please share, comment, and like.